my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in Dallas, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. My Instagram name is at Grow Folds. I'd love to connect it with you, and just if you have any questions about the plants or anything else on my videos, you can connect with me that way. You can see that today is a cloudy day, and based on my thumbnail and title, yes, I was slated to go to PlantCon 2025 in New York City, but as I was actually going to the airport, the DFW airport, my Uber was dropping me off. It was about 5:30 when I checked my email, and it said that my flight was canceled, and that was just very it was just not a good feeling. I was definitely devastated, and so I looked at getting flights to try to get to New York City, but unfortunately the cards were just not going to play in my favor. I was not going to work to try to get to New York City and have like a 7-hour layover and pay an extra $800. American Airlines, I just felt like didn't handle the situation well. They didn't really give us any details, and I didn't really think that I would actually get a plane if I were to stay standby till 2 p.m. today. So instead of just moping around, I really wanted to pick myself up by just going to Dallas nurseries as well as big box stores. So this is actually my second time I've ever been to this big box store, Lowe's, out in Dallas, Texas. And I've noticed that the downtown Dallas big box stores actually have a really good selection of plants. So you can see right here, it is packed full with different types of plants, and they have some really nice fixtures as well to stage their plants and merchandise it. But to go back to just some of my thoughts about PlantCon 2025 in New York City, I was just so excited. I was really excited to be able to go and see Kunzo. He is the legend. And then there were just so many vendors and friends that I wanted to get in touch with. My podcast mates from Cultivation Corner, Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants, will still be there. And, for me, I was most devastated in the fact that I would not be able to meet some of the plant foldies that have been messaging me. We've been chatting in the live premiere chats, but I'm hoping that there will be another opportunity for me to make it to the East Coast and meet all of the East Coast plant foldies. So I am a little bit down as I make this big box or plant shopping video, so you'll have to excuse me if I am slightly mopey, and it's just because I was really, really excited to go to PlantCon 2025 in New York City. I mean, I had everything lined up, and I just wanted to go see some amazing plants. I did message Art Garden Flowers, my friend Riki. Hopefully, I can get my plants brought to me by my friend Jim. So I'm still in coordinating with him. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, and we'll see what happens. But I think when it comes down to things happening for a reason, biggest take back is, what do we do when there is a setback, when something doesn't go the way we plan, when something that we are looking forward to just does not happen for us? And PlantCon shows I absolutely love, just because the plant community is amazing. I love to surround myself with people that are all about good vibes only. And there was just a lot of people that I really wanted to meet in person. I am just really thankful that we have viewers and subscribers that care enough to really want to meet and converse with me. So for those that were looking forward to meeting me this weekend, I do apologize. I really tried my best. I mean, I was even up till 2 in the morning, and I just set my alarm clock to wake up at 4 in the morning to catch my flight, because my flight was boarding at 6:33 a.m. I had everything packed. I had everything ready to go, but I was so anxious about missing the flight that I really didn't get a lot of sleep. But that adrenaline was also pushing me to just get excited about it. So for those that are actually finding my video for the first time, I do apologize about just me sulking a little bit and just telling you what actually actually happened, how I was canceled out at PlantCon 2025 New York City. And it was literally because American Airlines actually just canceled my flight like literally 40 minutes before we were supposed to board, which if you ask me, and I really do want to garner your opinions or comments about whether that was handled well. And when I was actually trying to get help to possibly get flights or more information, the help desk was not necessarily that helpful. And I really do believe that customer service is key. I don't know how I feel about whether I should fly with American Airlines again. I get that things happen, but the way or the aftermath of just a cancellation and the resources to kind of rectify it or fix it was just not really clear for me. So we're going to go ahead and flip the switch and go on with the good vibes only by starting out by saying, take a look at this Hydra Helix. Or the correct way to say it, plant foldies, is Hedera Helix. This is the English ivy that I always will pick up whenever I am shopping at a big box store. It is one of the plants that I am obsessed about. There's a lot of things I'm obsessed about, but English ivy is one of them. I just like the leaf shape. It reminds me of maple leaves, and it's just a very fascinating plant to me because it's one of those plants that I love so much, but does not want to love me back. It's kind of like that unrequited love where you just are in love with somebody, but they don't give you the same love back. Now, as you can see right here, I was talking through some of the outdoor garden section. Things that I want to highlight initially about this downtown Dallas Lowe's is the merchandising outside was flawless, and even they even have like a clearance section here that's outdoors. So you'll notice that these plants are 50% off. And what's exciting about these plants being 50% off is you can find nice finds like this. So this one right here is an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos. This is by Costa Farms Trending Tropicals. And even me passing by some of the plants that are in the indoor section, it is going to be an exciting video. Know that at the very end, I really hope you guys will watch what I ended up doing to really console myself for the big disappointment of not being able to fly out to New York City today. I went to Plant Keeper, and I definitely want you guys to stay till the very end and see what I did. I want to see, and I really do want your opinions on whether I handled the situation right, on whether I took care of myself. So definitely watch till the very end of the video. It will be somewhat shocking, somewhat surprising. I kind of want to see what you guys think and leave your comments for that. But as you can see right there, there were some clearance plants right there. They were 50% off. And now we're going to be heading over to the indoor section in just a second. Plant foldies, as you can see right here, this particular Lowe's location actually has a different vibe, a different look than the ones that I often visit in the northern part of Dallas. So the suburbs such as McKinney, Prosper, Frisco, Plano, Allen, Texas, Melissa, Texas. So all of these big boxers are a little bit different. The ones in downtown Dallas actually have a really, surprisingly, a large selection of plants, but then I can understand why, because there are more people in the downtown areas. And you can see right here, it is fall season. So we're going to see a lot of Croton Petras and a lot of cool seasonally relevant decor. So you can see right here, this home decor, these are skeleton planters, $7.98 by Live Trends Design. And you can see we've got a Halloween theme, we've got a mummy, we've got a witch, we've got Frankenstein, we've got Dracula. So these are little cute figurines with air plants on the top of their head. You can see that these figurines are $7.98. And Live Trends Design, as I mentioned in a lot of my videos, they really are very innovative in just the plant styling of the plants. And I even see that they have the pumpkin man over here, and then you can see we've got a witch over here. And when you think about plant styling, it goes down to your aesthetics, right? What you want, how you want to present your plants. For me, I like that modern contemporary look, which really fits the aesthetic that Live Trends Design planters have. To go back to New York City Plant Con 2025, things that I was really looking forward to was actually seeing some more pottery planters. I was looking forward to being back in New York City. The last time I was there, I was actually in college, and I graduated college in 2005. So it's been a minute, and I was just really excited to just be out and about. Luke was not going to be able to travel with me. He was going to stay with my Barred Rock hen and my Rhode Island Red hen, our chickens that we are raising together. And it was going to be a solo trip, but the cards weren't right. And I know that I'm going to spend a little bit of time kind of thinking about what could have been. And so that goes back to the whole, do we just move past things that don't go our way? Do we just sulk in the moment? Do we let it go? Do we allow ourselves to feel that sadness, that disappointment, that frustration? Plant foldies, I'm really curious because I really do have some raw feelings that I'm pretty much giving you guys as I walked around this Lowe's location to just kind of calm myself down. I had a mixture of definitely frustration, more so anger with just how the service was handled with American Airlines. But then I was also very much so disappointed. I was also saddened because this was something that I was looking forward to. And, people ask, how do we get through our days? How do we relieve stress? How do we relieve anxieties or depression? And oftentimes people say that if you have something that you're planning and you're looking forward to, that's ways to really mitigate those feelings. And well, today, it just so happens that it didn't go the way I wanted to. So for those that actually make it to Plant Con in New York City this weekend, I hope you guys have an amazing time. Definitely check out some of the booths. I would highly recommend going to Art Garden Flowers, Riki's booth. You go ahead and check out Hedge Fund Plants. What else? Live with Plants, and all the other plant nurseries and vendors, Prop and Grow, for instance. And there's just so many others. I'm just really full of emotion right now. I'm just really disappointed, to be honest, Plant Foldies. Like, I really wanted to go to Plant Con. There was so many plants that I wanted to see in person. I wanted to film like hours and hours of Plant Con for y'all, because I know not everybody has the opportunity to go to a big show like that. And I was planning on filming at least a minimum of 6 hours of content. There were some major YouTube content creators, Summer Rain Oaks, Kunzu-sama was going to be there, and there was just going to be a lot of good people, good vibes only. And really, I wanted to meet a lot of the plant foldies. But have no fear. The world will always spin around this sun of ours, and there's going to be other opportunities. And so today, I am just going to be a little bit sad, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to go ahead and try to have plants bring me joy. I think walking around, taking some deep breaths, I'm really thinking about how fortunate I am to have a support system where there's many people that I've never met before, many people that I may never meet, but for some reason, y'all, the Plant Foldy community, continue to invest your time to engage in my content. And that goes to show that you guys are definitely exuding that kindness. And I am just really grateful and thankful to that. So let me get off of my soapbox, Plant Foldies. I needed to allow myself to feel all the feelings I had. I've never, ever, ever had a flight canceled, and not only just have a flight canceled, but not even have a concrete solution or information as to what other steps we could do. So I am just a little bit weary about traveling right now. Maybe it's just meant for me to drive around and film big box store plants. So today we are actually going to be looking at all of these plants, and the majority of plants I've noticed at this Lowe's location are Costa Farms plants. And to add a little bit more salt to the wound, I was actually in touch with Justin Hancock of Costa Farms. He was going to be there, as well as Samia, their social media strategist and manager. I wanted to see both of them. I met Samia out in Florida on PlantCon, but I've never met Justin. And we were going to talk about Aglaonema and just all things Costa Farms. So even today's video is going to be dedicated to Costa Farms and the fact that if you look at all of their plants, they have trayfuls of plants in Dallas, Texas. Now over here we do have also African violets. African violets are plants that I think a lot of our grandmothers have taken care of. Now with African violets, they're a little bit challenging if you are an overwaterer, but also an underwater. And what I mean by that is you need to make sure that you're watering your African violets by bottom watering it. They don't like to get their leaves or their petioles wet. Now, as you can see right here, plant foldies, we do have a lot of exotic angel plants. Now, the ones that are in 3-inch planters are for $5.98. The 8-inch planters are going to be $8.98. So these ones, not 8-inch planters, 5-inch planters. So you can see right here, we've got a beautiful Croton Gold Dust. So the two big crotons that we will see offered by Costa Farms in the 10-inch planters are going to be typically the Croton Petra and the Croton Mame, but I would love to see larger versions of the Croton Gold Dust. These are beautiful plants. Crotons often signify when fall season is around, especially in the United States, even though that plant is not a fall season type plant. Crotons like to be in hot, humid environments. They like to be in full sun. It's just really interesting how some plants become a seasonal plant, even though it's not necessarily fitting the season. I don't know, plant foldies. Let me know in the comment section below. And I do have to warn y'all, I'm probably going to be bouncing from many thoughts back and forth today, just because I am feeling a little bit emotional. And, I understand if some of you guys will click away and not actually watch the video, or if you don't want to really hear me ramble or talk or tell y'all of my feelings, you can always press the mute button. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I know that there are some people that have given me feedback that they would rather not have me be so chatty and just let the plants play through. So either way. Now let me just get back to the plants here. So you'll notice that there were a lot of exotic angel plants. Now we have a lot of Costa Farms hanging baskets as well. So the 8-inch hanging baskets, this is the white rabbit's foot fern. This one is for $20.98. Now the 6-inch hanging baskets of Costa Farms, which I actually prefer more so than the 8-inch ones. And I say this because it's easier for me to hang them. They're a little bit more manageable than the 8-inch ones. So these are the 6-inch hanging baskets. You can see right here, this is the Peperomia Teardrop, the non-variegated form for $16.98. I just think that it's super cool though that this particular Lowe's location, after visiting a couple of downtown Dallas locations, how they are just really packed with plants. I don't know if just that the demand is high and therefore that they get replenished more, or if they just get more plants than say some of the suburb Lowe's locations up north in Dallas. Now, I'm just going to continue to walk around here and just pick up some plants, show you some of the hanging baskets that they have. Again, when it comes down to houseplants, if you are ever going to start your plant collection, you go to a big box store, get yourself a Costa Farms plants. They are very much so cost effective. You can see over here, we've got a Fittonia. I love the pink veining on the leaves, and it is just stunning as well. beats going to a big box store that's fully stocked with a lot of these Costa Farms exotic angel plants. Again, it is one of those situations where if you're looking for something budget friendly, cost effective, a pretty good selection, many different types of plants, whether it's beginner plants like this Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos for only $5.98, or something a little bit more advanced like a croton plant, or even some of those Rex begonias. Costa Farms has it, and they have those plants readily available at many Lowe's locations. I would also recommend actually using the Lowe's app, and I say this because they have what they call the My Lowe's rewards or My Lowe's deals, and that's how you get the sale pricing. Now over here is a curly locks Hydra Helix. Say it with me, plant foldies, Hydra Helix. I've got to try to actually cheer myself up, so I'm going to just say Hydra Helix. Okay, I really need to stop saying that because I'm pretty sure the ones that are actually not understanding the inside plant foldy joke, they probably have swiped away from this video. But as you guys know, I actually say it incorrectly because I thought I was saying it correctly, and that's another thing I wanted to say about plant names. Sometimes we don't always say the plant names correctly or pronounce them, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't get the names right. Now, I did want to show you this. Look at how pretty this croton mame is. So I like that it's curly. I like that it's got bright yellow colors, reds, maroons, greens, oranges. It's just a pretty color. And I think with a lot of the more colorful plants like the croton plants, aglaonemas, coleus plants, it's either you love them or you hate them. There's not really a middle ground. Now, I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but that's really what vibe I've gotten after just asking some of our plant foldies for feedback. Now over here, you can see we've got a Tradescanthia Nanook in a hanging basket. So I've noticed that the Tradescanthia Nanook is not really offered in a hanging basket by Costa Farms often, or at least I haven't seen it. This one is for $16.98. We've got a Syngonium. This is a Syngonium white butterfly for $16.98. And I am in love with my Syngoniums again. They are doing very well. I'm currently growing them outside along with all of my other plants, so I don't really have a lot of indoor tropical plants. And here's a little secret plant foldy. So for those that actually were on the live chat yesterday after my live premiere, which was Thursday, I actually did a semi impromptu houseplant tour. So Kathy from Canada, if you are watching this video, or for anybody that says I have not done a houseplant tour, I did a little snippet doing a Instagram live stream as well as a YouTube live stream, and it seems like you guys were interested in seeing some of my plants. I did show some of my origami work and some of my interior design, so if you guys are really wanting to see that, just let me know in the comment section again. And if you made it this far into the videos, plant foldies, I need some good vibes, some positive energy. Please press that thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And it also just helps me with my YouTube ad revenue when you guys are watching throughout my video and engaging. I mean, I would be able to afford this beautiful philodendron hederaceum neon, for instance, in a 6-inch planter by Costa Farms for only $16.98. And this is just a stunner of a plant. Would you agree? It's nice and full. It's trailing. It's got some good growth points. It's all real. It's just a very healthy looking plant. And I have to commend Costa Farms for just being able to produce the mass amounts of plants and be able to offer them to the general public. Now, if you ever see some plants declining, while they're still at a big box store like Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, or Walmart, it's oftentimes because the plant has stayed at that big box store for a while, and maybe the teams that are actually in charge of the plants may not have the best plant care. You know, there's many different priorities when it comes to just retail, and maybe some of these big box store plants may not get the care that it necessarily needs long term. And that's the reason why I say, if you want to go plant shopping, check out these big box stores. I mean, this particular Dallas Lowe's location has some amazing just in stocks. I mean, look at how many plants that they have available. You can see we've got some hanging basket plants. We've got all sorts of plants for a very good value. And, you know, as I think about just not being able to go to PlantCon New York City, I think another regret of mine of just not being able to go there is the fact that I didn't get to really see all of the plants that are currently trending or all of the different vendors. You know, whenever you go to a big box store like that, you see the plants. These plants are pretty often commonly found, but whenever you go to like PlantCon, for instance, you'll see some plants that may not necessarily be under somebody's radar. And full transparency, I just wish I could see Kunzo in person. He is bringing his plants, and if for those that don't know who Kunzo is, he is a legendary Japanese plant I don't even know, hybridizer, somebody that has some amazing plants, and he just has his own hybrids, and those plants are being offered at PlantCon New York City. For those that actually make it, I hope you guys will leave comments, send me photos, send me your experiences about what you thought about PlantCon. I know that there are so many plant foldies that are going there, and you know, I hope you guys have such a good time. I am just really sad that I wouldn't be able to make it to this PlantCon, and I already had my plane tickets, and I know that I'm probably bringing up this subject again, but it's just really disappointing, and I was just filled with so many emotions. But you know, I can go back and at least make today productive in a sense that I was able to film 3 big box store shopping experiences, and so I'll be able to have that available for our Plant Foldy community. I am curious to see if anybody is able to get some amazing aglaonemas. I know for a fact that there's one number one wish list aglaonema I want aside from the aglaonema Crown of Siam, and that is aglaonema Kunzo. I know somebody was telling me that at PlantCon it was retailing for $1,080. So obviously that is not within my price range. I say not within my price range, but if we ended up getting all those super stickers donations, I welcome it, because maybe someday I may be able to get that. But let me go back to these plants. So you can see right here, this particular pothos plant looks like just a golden pothos, but it is not. This one is actually mislabeled. This one is an Epipremnum aureum neon queen pothos, and you'll notice that it's got that lighter aurea variegation. So it's basically like a marble queen pothos, but it has more of that yellowish tone. Really love the plant, and again, it's one of those pothos that was recently discovered and has become more readily available for people. Some people will even call this the variegated neon pothos, but some people also call it the neon pothos queen. Either way, $5.98. This one is being offered by Costa Farms, and I hope that Costa Farms will actually have more of these hanging baskets available, and hopefully we will see even more pothos varieties, because pothos are definitely plants that everybody that's into houseplants should at least have one. I know that some people are more into the rare plants, but as I say in all my videos, we need to find plants that are going to bring us joy, and one way to for a plant to bring us joy is for it to consistently push out new growth, for it to not add workload to our daily lives. Plants should enhance our daily lives versus adding workload. And I get that there are routines that we have to place in order to actually grow plants successfully. But for me, if a plant is having to demand so much time from us, it becomes a little bit overwhelming. And that's something that I want all of us to kind of be able to work through. I know that this weekend, instead of me being at PlantCon 2025 in New York City, I will be taking a day where I am literally cleaning up my plants, taking care of my plant room, getting things arranged, planning on what am I going to do with all my aglaonema outdoors, because days are going to start to get shorter with fall approaching. So let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, what do you do when winter is coming, when fall is coming? I tend to like the longer days. I really like more bright light, and even this weekend, especially today, it's been really gloomy. We've had an overcast in Dallas, and it just is not befitting for how I feel, just because, again, it's a huge disappointment not being able to make it to PlantCon, but I wanted to make it productive today. I actually posted on my Instagram on whether I should spend the day filming content. And so you guys, the majority of you guys actually voted yes. And so this is what I am doing. For those that are watching this video and discovering this YouTube channel again, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push the content out to more plant lovers like yourself, and definitely give me a subscribe. I would love to continue to grow this plantfoldy community. We are almost at 13,000 viewers and subscribers. And to me, that is insane. I can't even fathom like how many people that is. It's as big as like a stadium almost. So thanks to you guys for always tuning in, and hopefully PlantCon Dallas is even a more fun adventure and we can actually plan something where we can have a major meetup. I always tell people, if you ever want to just message me on Instagram, if you ever want to talk, if you ever want to see me faceless, we can even schedule like a video call on Instagram. I would love to be able to chat with y'all, and that's going to be open to not only the super plantfoldies that have joined the YouTube membership tier, but just for anybody that wants to talk about plants. Totally open to that. But anyways, plantfoldies, I'm going to stop some of the commentating and just showing you more of these plants. I'm going to walk around and pick up a lot of these Costa Farms plants. So you can see we've got this Rex begonia, for instance. This is a beautiful one. And if you are a begonia lover, Costa Farms does push out a lot of these begonias for the general public at these big box stores. Foliage, you can see right here, we have the Costa Farms tiny plants. So these are the 2-inch starter plants that Costa Farms offers. These are for $2.99. So if you have small spaces or you just want a starter plant, you can go ahead and get one of these. It's cool that they actually have this one offered at this Lowe's location. And I will say, for all of the downtown Dallas, the more urban locations in the DFW market for Lowe's, they do have really good selections. I'm noticing that every time I go further down into the city and looking at all these plants, I mean, we have this Epipremnum pinnatum right here, one of my favorite plants. But the thing about Epipremnum pinnatum is you do need to give it quite a bit of bright indirect light. It is a thirsty plant. So if you're not able to to really fulfill those care tips, I would say number one, the plant is going to push out more runners where it's going to have vines, but it's not necessarily going to have the foliage that you're looking for. And then number two, the leaves will start to get droopy if it doesn't get enough water. So I just find growing plants outdoors so much easier. And I've been talking a lot about that lately, but not sure if anybody else has really taken a lot of their plants outdoors, especially for the spring and summer. I am planning on doing that again next year, maybe getting a head start and just putting them out further, like maybe late March when we don't have to worry about any frost or cold weather out in North Dallas. I've seen so many plants that were really struggling indoors, and they've actually pushed out quite a bit of growth. And you'll see that we have urban jungle plants also mixed in with all of these Costa Farms plants. The majority of plants at this particular Lowe's location is Costa Farms. And what I'm hearing is Costa Farms, for the first time ever at PlantCon New York City, will actually feature all of their trending tropical plants on display. That, again, is another reason why I am super disappointed that I wouldn't be able to go there. I will say, for all the plant foldies that were on the live premiere chat that showed some concern, I really appreciate it. Know that I am okay, but a lot of my thoughts would be, number one, I've been looking forward to just meeting everybody on the North and East Coast, all of the North and East Coast plant foldies. I would have loved to have discussed and chatted with y'all, but I will definitely make it up somehow. And just number two, all of the amazing plant personalities that were going to be there. I would love to have seen Summer Rain Oaks, for instance. She is a huge YouTube content creator, one that I've watched for many years, and just being able to make more friends, because whenever you go to like a plant show like PlantCon, you run into so many people that have the same interest and just that same passion for plants. So virtually right now, we can just celebrate our love for plants by watching these big box stores. I do think that that is one way to just kind of form a community. And you'll see right over here just so many plants. I mean, would you agree with me that this particular Lowe's location is jam-packed with plants? Plant foldies from all over the United States. Let me know what your Lowe's locations look like, and I would like to go on a plant tourism tour. So if you haven't checked out my playlist with the plant tourism videos, that's basically whenever I go to a different city, different state, and create content on their local and big box stores that offer plants. And you can see right here, endless amounts of Costa Farms plants. And look at this. Live Trends Design has this amazing air plant display with a face statue. So what a very unique, quirky way to display plants. And, you know, with air plants, that's something I'm not as well versed on in terms of just the plant care. All I know is with air plants, you just soak them in water, pull them out, and let them dry. And that's how you water the plants. And then here is another Hydra Helix. Say it with me, plant foldies. Hydra Helix. Or the correct way to say it is Hedera Helix. This is the Florida English ivy, and I do love the shape of the leaves. It's a little bit more pointy, and that's the nuances with a lot of the English ivy. So plant foldies, we're going to keep looking at some of these plants right here. You can notice that I have shown you guys a little bit of the Live Trends Design plants. This is actually the end cap that they typically have at Lowe's, is the Live Trends Design plants, and you'll see that there is a different aesthetic. I say this in all my videos that I feature Live Trends Design. It's a modern contemporary vibe. They push the envelope in terms of the specific modern shapes, the different types of glazes, the minimalistic approach, the mixed media, and I think that that's really what separates Live Trends Designs apart. Is, of course, they have amazing plants. Their plant offerings are pretty similar to, like, say, Costa Farms plants and urban jungle plants, but their aesthetic is definitely a very different approach, where it is definitely more modern, contemporary. I mean, you can even see this propagation station of this Dracaena. This is just literally growing in water, but even just the unfinished wood is a really nice touch. So, you know, as far as all of these plants, Live Trends Design If you're not following them on Instagram, definitely follow them. You can even learn about the design and just the thought process behind these planters. It's very definitely something that they very much so consider, and it really does show the effort placed into the design is really amazing. And you know, me being an art major when I was in college, it was all about the aesthetic or the thought process or even the emotion behind the piece. And even though, yes, these planters are just holding plants, there is something very special when it comes to Live Trends Design. So, you know, kudos to Live Trends Design. Love y'all, and I love the plant. I love making big box store plant shopping videos. And even though you guys have seen me do some local plant nursery videos, it is all about that good vibe. And so in terms of like social media, again, there's a lot of people that have various opinions about plants, but I always encourage good vibes only. And that's the reason why I don't really want to wallow on being disappointed that my flight was canceled by American Airlines literally 40 minutes before we were going to board and take off. I just think that that was highly mismanaged in the way they've handled that. But you know what? Sometimes things like that are just out of our control. And even on the lens of the American Airlines, maybe they were just overworked and overrun with what to do with the solution. So I have to really step back and look at that. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, how you would have reacted having a flight canceled 40 minutes before takeoff. It still baffles me, but at the same time, you know, the emotions I felt initially, the emotions I'm feeling currently, and then maybe the post emotions I will have once everything is settled. I do encourage Plant Foldies or anybody watching my videos, and I know I'm going on a tangent again, but it's more of allow yourself to feel these emotions. Sometimes we try to bury them. Sometimes we feel like we're being irrational in how we truly feel. But I think that if you're able to at least be aware of your emotions, allow yourself to feel a certain way, then find ways to mitigate or move on from your emotions, whether it's negative or something of that nature, is really important. So for me, I am choosing to film beautiful plants at a big box store today because I feel like it's definitely a productive way to spend my time. And at the end of the day, I wasn't able to fly out to New York City and, you know, enjoy PlantCon, but at least I have this space where I can at least make content for y'all to enjoy and to be productive. So if you can, Plant Foldies, chime in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you think about a lot of these plants, because I did spend quite a bit of time just picking up beautiful plants, whether it's urban jungle plants, Live Trend Design plants, or of course Costa Farms plants. That's one thing I can at least say is, if you ever feel down, if you ever feel frustrated, if you ever feel depressed or have anxiety, at least for me, I can just go into a big box store, not buy anything, and just look at these plants. I mean, I always get excited looking at this Aglaonema Golden Bay, for instance, and this one is stunning. It is an absolute stunner. And look at this. Look at the new urban jungle aesthetic. It almost tricked me to thinking that it was a Live Trends Design plant. And with this particular Aglaonema, which I have about 4 or 5 of, I don't mind even adding more of this in my collection, because it is one of the easiest plants to take care of. And it's one that is readily available. You know, a plant collection doesn't necessarily mean that we have to collect all of these rare and uncommon plants. If a lot of your plants are just coming from like Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, or grocery stores, that is okay, because you know what? A healthy, growing houseplant collection, in my opinion, is far more satisfying than somebody that might be acquiring all of these rare, variegated, highly expensive, trending plants that might take a little bit more out of your wallet and also out of your time and the environment that you have to provide. I am really trying to go back to the basics. And you know, my grandmother, she's really taught me to appreciate the plants that you currently have, appreciate propagating plants, and increasing your actual collection that way. I think that that is the best way to go about go about things. And I just think that's an amazing feeling to be able to find satisfaction with what you have. That's another comment I wanted to know from the plant foldies, because you can see this is a beautiful philodendron golden crocodile, and it's only for $14.98 on sale. It is on sale for that price. Right now, the Costa Farms Trending Tropical plants that are normally $19.98 at Lowe's are on sale for $14.98. And you can see these are beautiful specimens of a philodendron golden crocodile. We've also got some Dieffenbachia here in self-watering planters. $15.98 is the asking price at this Lowe's. And then we even have more philodendron golden crocodile. I mean, look at how beautiful that neon colored leaf is. Now with these plants, all of the neon plants need bright indirect light. If you put it in lower light conditions, it will revert back to more of a greener tone. And then Dieffenbachia, as much as I love them, I am not sold on actually trying to grow them indoors just yet with my Aglaonema. They look very similar, but their lighting requirements are definitely higher than an Aglaonema. And then you can see right over here, we've got the dogtail cactus, and this one is in a 6-inch planter by Costa Farms. This one is for $16.98. And you know, 6-inch planters that are hanging baskets for Costa Farms are the more easier ones to manage. I just think the 8-inch ones are a little bit larger, and you know, with larger hanging baskets, you have to have a really strong hook in order for them to be hung. Otherwise, you'll have a hanging basket that will fall. I'm actually curious if a lot of plant foldies actually grow plants in a hanging basket. I mean, I've always wanted to grow lots of them, and the only reason why I've been able to grow a lot of them is because they are growing outdoors in my outdoor patio. I am a little bit concerned because the overcast in the North Dallas area has been prevalent, and summer is ending, fall is coming around the corner. Fall weather brings cooler temperatures, and cooler temperatures are not necessarily the ideal environment for a lot of our indoor tropical plants. Hence the reason why we call them indoor, because our indoor spaces are always going to have warmer conditions. But as you can see right here, this is a tropical type cactus. It's a beautiful one, and you'll notice that it has lots of growth. And then we also have a quintessential basic fern right here. Not sure what the plant ID is for that fern, but if you are a fern lover, I'm not necessarily a fan of ferns, it's just my personal preference, but you can find ferns on sale as well at Lowe's. And you can see right over here, we have a Hoya carnosa. This one has beautiful variegation, and I know that this is probably the most common Hoya you will run into, whether it is at a big box store or a local nursery, but it is still a beautiful one for my Hoya heads, or for those that really love Hoyas. You can start your collection or add to your collection by just getting a Hoya carnosa by Costa Farms. That one is for $16.98. And we have another hanging basket right over here. This is another one I have been pretty much looking at for the last year. I just haven't pulled the plug and actually bought this plant. I just feel like it is one that I could easily propagate. It is one that might be easier to take care of. I just haven't really been inspired to really buy it. It's one plant that I would say is a good example of you can grow plants by just going plant window shopping, as in you can just continue to go to the same big box store and just watch the plant grow. Now over here we have another Syngonium. This is a beautiful Syngonium, and I love the hanging baskets of Syngoniums that Costa Farms actually offers. It's super full. If you get them when they just get first delivered, they are in perfect health. And with Syngoniums, again, they are plants, and I have to repeat myself multiple times because some people will dub Syngoniums as an easy care plant. It is an easy care plant if you can give them the watering that they need. If you are not able to water Syngoniums consistently, they will revolt and want to go to plant heaven. over here we have a bunch of parlor palm from Costa Farms. This one is for $15.98. And here's the thing about palms, they do require quite a bit of light. Oftentimes you will see majesty palms. Here we have a parlor palm. I really like that it's compact. Now I'm not 100% sure if this palm will actually get really large. So for those that are a little bit more familiar about this particular palm, please leave that in the comments section. Give me some insights. And then this is actually the first time I've really seen Calathea Trio Star. This one is a beautiful one from Costa Farms. Again, $15.98. You can see the undersides of the leaves are really nice as well. And what I like about these prayer type plants is how their leaves move in accordance to the light. They do need lots of bright indirect light. They are a bit spider mite prone. They prefer higher humidity levels. And in terms of just watering, again, you cannot let these plants stay dry for too long. They need to have a little bit more consistency when it comes to the watering. They prefer to be more on the wetter side. This particular plant, again, is in a self-watering planter for $15.98. This is in the 6-inch planter, and you know, Costa Farms offers a lot of 6-inch self-watering planters. I don't necessarily use self-watering planters for plants that are in a soil substrate. I only really use self-watering planters for like semi-hydroponic substrates like leca or lechuza pond. So I'm not 100% sure if it's really going to be beneficial for anybody using soil as their substrate for self-watering planters. I do also want to ask the plant foldies if you utilize the self-watering planters, or do you repot these plants that you buy at big box stores. Now over here we do have a philodendron pink princess, and this is just a regular philodendron pink princess. The ones that have a little bit more marbling or more pink variegation is also known as a philodendron pink princess Galaxy Marble. This one is just a typical philodendron pink princess. The variegation varies depending on the initial genetics of the philodendron pink princess. This one is for $15.98. And then plant foldies, we're going to go ahead and continue to walk around and take a look at some more of the offerings that Costa Farms has at Lowe's. That I'm going to definitely get a hold of would be the Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic Blue. Any Epipremnum pinnatum plant I am actually a fan of, just because it is endemic to my family's home country, which is the Philippines. This is definitely one of the plants that just grows outside. It is all over, and this particular Epipremnum pinnatum actually fenestrates its leaves without having to be on a moss pole or some type of support system. We can see right over here we've got a philodendron ring of fire, and what I've learned about philodendron ring of fire is if you do not give it enough bright indirect light, it will revert more so to a greener foliage. So this one is very much heavily influenced by the amount of light in order for you to really get the beautiful variegation of this serrated philodendron. I love it. Same thing with the philodendron golden crocodile. So all of these serrated philodendrons require more bright indirect light. That is the key to a lot of these indoor tropical plants, or these tropical plants in general. They tend to be understory tree plants that just grow under trees, so that filtered light is what they prefer. You definitely don't want to put them in full sun. And then you can just see right over here we have a combination planter for $17.98, where they have different types of plants available. You have a marble queen pothos, a parlor palm, and some other stuff in there. And then we also have more urban jungle plants. You can see this is another beautiful Golden Bay Aglaonema next to a philodendron Birkin. You can see right here, this is one of the newer, modern looking Costa Farms self-watering planters. This one is for $24.98. This is the Epipremnum Arium Lemon Meringue Pothos, which is actually a sport variegated pothos plant that was discovered with Costa Farms, and Costa Farms actually has made enough to where they actually have an offering for the general public. It looks more of like a global green pothos, but this one has some of the aurea or yellowish tone around it. Now with these pothos plants, it's very critical that you do give it a lot of light, because if you're not able to provide it bright, filtered, indirect light, it is not going to give you the best coloration. This particular plant will actually just give you more of a greener tone where you don't see a stark contrast. And then this is the Alocasia reginea. I love the look of this Alocasia, and I love the new terracotta looking modern planter that Costa Farms has. I really like the branding that they've invested in some of their newer plants, just the planters that they have. And again, as I look at all of these Costa Farms plants, I am just really sad I wasn't able to meet up with Justin of Costa Farms. I'm hoping that I will run into him at some point down the line in one of these plant shows, because I did want to just talk about the Costa Farms plants, the new ones that they have available, and even the suggestions I would have. I would really hope that Costa Farms would look into increasing their line of colorful aglaonema, because I've noticed that more and more vendors, especially at like PlantCon and nurseries, have really started to offer more colorful aglaonema. So definitely would love to see that happen, and just to give that feedback again to Costa Farms. Now over here, we're looking at Sublime Trend Design planters. This one is a ZZ plant, one of the easiest plants, one that I will always feature in my big box or plant shopping videos because of how easy it is, and it is readily available. So I really love the look of that. And we're gonna go ahead and look at this Syndapsis Platinum Java. This is another one that I would love to actually get, just because it is such a beautiful plant. It's got the nice silver foliage, and look at the new labels that they have for Costa Farms. I really love this curated look, and I really love the Syndapsis Java or Platinum Java. Would love to get a hold of this. And Syndapsis are just like Epipremnum aureum or pothos plants, very easy to take care of. They're a slightly slower growers as compared to the pothos plant, but it's still one of the best plants to add into an indoor tropical space for anybody that just wants to start out with house plants. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep showing you these offerings that Costa Farms has available at this Lowe's location. Foldies, what do you think so far of these plants that I'm showing you at this Lowe's location in downtown Dallas? What plants are you wanting to buy? And do you guys think that I handled actually the disappointment of not making it to PlantCon 2025 in New York City by just being super productive and just filming plants? Let me know in the comments section. And over here, Plant Foldies, I did want to show you these different types of bonsai that are offered by Costa Farms. So stay tuned to my Costa Farms repotting bonsai video where I will use the Bonsai Supply soil. You can see that these are very much cost-effective plant pricing when it comes to bonsai. I really never imagined that bonsai would be readily available at a big box store, but Costa Farms makes it possible. And you can see whenever you're looking at bonsai, you want to look at the movement of the trunk and just the branching. There is a whole world and art of creating bonsai. It is one way of growing plants. It takes several decades, lots of time to really get that perfect shape for the plant, because you are trying to mimic nature and actually create a miniature tree growing in a shallow container. So I am going to definitely use the Bonsai Supply soil. So go to the bonsaisupply.com, and in just a few minutes I'm going to show you the wonderful products that they have. I hope you guys will not click away, because you definitely need to see what I did to cope with my disappointment. Aside from just filming these plants at the very end, you just have to wait till the very end to see. But right here I do have wonderful bonsai selections to choose from, and I would like to buy more Costa Farms bonsai. Consider these more of like pre-bonsai, and with the supplies that I've gotten from the Bonsai Supply, you'll see. Plant foldies, I am super excited to finally show you my unboxing of the bonsai supplies that I received a generous amount from the Bonsai Supply store. This is a company that is based out in Houston, Texas. I have been using the Bonsai Supply soil for many years now. I used to buy it off of Amazon, but you can actually buy this directly from the bonsaisupply.com. And you can see right here, this is their all-purpose fast draining soil that you can utilize for your bonsai. And for those that don't know, the bonsai is the art of growing beautiful miniature trees, and it is one that takes so much dedication. It is definitely creating living works of art, and in order to make living works of art, you really have to have premium soil and supplies. And I am just super excited that the Bonsai Supply company sent me this package of all of the supplies that I have used for many years. So you can see right here, I am struggling to unbox this. This is the organic slow release all-purpose fertilizer that is also made and sourced out in the United States. So all of their supplies in terms of just the soils and their fertilizers are sourced out and created in the United States. You can see right here, it is a gentle organic fertilizer, and it is all purpose, so you can utilize it for a lot of your plants. Here's the thing about the Bonsai Supply soil. It is definitely a complete soil. It is one that you can utilize as well for your succulents and cactus. So if you don't necessarily grow bonsai, you can actually utilize their soils because it is fast draining. So it's really good for even your succulents, your cactus, and your sansevieria, any type of plant that just needs fast draining soil. You can see that the Bonsai Supply has also sent me different types of wire gauges, as well as their other fertilizer right over here. You can see that this one is the non-organic fertilizer. So you have different choices, and all of these products you can find on the bonsaisupply.com or bonsaisupply.com. I do have an affiliate link for that is going to be in all of my descriptions for my YouTube videos. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally show you all of the amazing products that I received from Bonsai Supply. You can see right over here, this one is the black lava rock. So you can utilize these types of soils to amend your soil. So say you need to make your all-purpose soil a little bit more fast draining, you can utilize a lot of these soil amendments for it. So you can see that I've got 3 different types of soils. I am going to be using the all-purpose mixture that they already have on the very left, and I am so thankful that they even sent me other supplies such as this potting mat. And just know, plant foldies, that I will utilize in another video a demonstration of using all of their supplies. So I just wanted to show you guys what types of supplies I got from Bonsai Supply. Super excited that I met the owners when I was actually at PlantCon Houston 2025, and I'm just so thankful and honored that they chose me to be one of their affiliates to actually promote and share their products. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some stainless steel scissors. And what I like about the Bonsai supplies that I've received in the past couple of years, aside from just getting this really generous package, is the fact that these soils do work. You can utilize it for a lot of your plants. You don't really have to worry about root rot. It is just fast draining. And I love the fact that all of the ingredients that they use is sourced from the United States. This is made in the USA, and we definitely want to support American products. This is an American company, and I just love the fact that the owners and the company really trusted me to show you all of these soils. So if you are interested in utilizing Bonsai Supply soils, please utilize my promo code for 10% off any of the supplies on your orders. Just use the promo code GROWFOLDS. It's just one word when you check out, and you will receive 10% off your entire order for these supplies. These are high quality supplies. This is some of the best bonsai supplies you can utilize, and this is just great products to use for a lot of your plants in general. So I urge everybody to follow the Bonsai Supply on Instagram and shop today. Hopefully I've convinced some of you guys to be open to trying the Bonsai Supply soil. Go to thebonsaisupply.com. Definitely check out the affiliate link that I have in the video description. Use my promo code GROWFOLDS when you check out so you can get 10% off your entire purchase. A lot of their soil is also curated to make your soil a little bit more fast draining. Really good product for succulents and cactus, or just to make your soil a little bit more fast draining. You can mix it with your current soil. So as I continue to walk around this Lowe's location, you'll just notice, I mean, just how full this Lowe's location is. I mean, here is another Costa Farms Syngonium right here in a 6-inch planter for only $16.98. And Costa Farms, you know, kudos to Costa Farms for just making plants affordable, accessible to the general public. So there's no gatekeeping when it comes to just being able to get house plants. And a lot of these rare and uncommon plants, for the longest time, we didn't have general access to it because of the expensive plant pricing, but Costa Farms has done an amazing job making it affordable for people. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some Croton Mame. This is a large one, which signifies that it is almost fall time, and I'm actually tempted to buy this particular one. I don't know, Plant Foldies, I think this is for $19. I believe somewhere around that range, $19.95. The only problem is, if I am to buy something like this beautiful Croton Mame, is I would need to be able to grow this outdoors in full sun or a lot of sun. And what do I do when winter comes? I've already noticed that the weather is getting a little bit cooler out in North Dallas, and I have more than 100 Aglaonema plants growing outdoors in my shaded patio, and so I just have to find ways to overwinter them. This is a beautiful specimen. I think next year when I plan for it, I will definitely get some really cool crotons, maybe some more uncommon ones, but even this common Croton Mame is absolutely stunning. They can become full-blown trees over years' time. They're a little bit slower growers, but if you are able to provide the lighting conditions, you can successfully grow them. Same thing with Dieffenbachia. So this is a Dieffenbachia camouflage. What a beautiful green on green variegated type plant. This Dieffenbachia, again, isn't really pet friendly. It does require a lot of bright indirect light. You must stay on top of the watering. They don't like to stay dry for too long. And then over here, we've got a Ficus elastica taniki. This one is another one that needs a lot of light. It can grow into a full-blown tree if allowed to grow in a sunny area. So I've been growing all of my ficus plants outdoors, and you can see this is the classic Aglaonema silver base. So Aglaonema Silver Bay, we got some Dieffenbachia here. So not only does this Lowe's location have large foliage plants, thanks to Costa Farms, especially at very cost-effective plant pricing. I mean, you can see right here, we've got rows of large plants. So if you have a space that can actually house these large plants, sometimes that's the better option. So it's instant gratification. You don't have to wait for the plant to grow too long for it to get to those sizes. And as I wrap up the indoor tropical local plants, I just wanted to pan around here and just show you a couple more plants. This one right here is another plant that I have been looking at for quite some time. This is the Polynesian ivy for $16.98. It is a pretty fast growing plant. It's one that I have considered for more than a year to purchase. I just haven't had a chance to actually buy it or actually have taken the leap to buy the plant. And I think that that's a good thing. I don't feel like just because we've been admiring a plant for so long, do we necessarily need to bring it in our spaces? That's how we end up hoarding so many plants. That's how we end up making our plant collections more overwhelming versus satisfying, because at the end of the day, and I've talked about this throughout the video, when you take one plant in, that's another plant that requires lighting conditions, watering conditions, and pest control. That's another plant that is going to eat up into your time. So as I wrap up today's video right here, I did want to just walk through again the outdoor garden section and stay till the very end to see what I did to cope with my disappointment of being canceled out of PlantCon 2025 in New York City because American Airlines decided to cancel my flight 40 minutes before we started boarding, and there wasn't really a solution to get put on another plane. So I don't know. I don't want to loom on it, but at the same time, I was just thinking of all the potential things that I had planned while going to PlantCon. I just feel really bad that I wasn't able to create that content that a lot of our plant foldies were looking forward to. Maybe next year, there are reasons why sometimes things don't always work out the way we plan them to. It's just how do we manage to move past that? And so today I am choosing to be productive. I am choosing to recognize my emotions, and I just felt like I needed to go plant shopping. So I ended up buying an Aglaonema Green Army. I rushed down to Plant Keeper Incorporated, which is a local plant nursery out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I remember telling myself that I had to go back and buy the Aglaonema Green Army. This one is a large 10-inch planter with such a beautiful Aglaonema. And instantly after purchasing this Aglaonema right here, I felt better. I felt like, you know what, the amount of money I was going to spend at PlantCon for traveling, I can go ahead and just invest it and buy plants to support a local plant nursery. Plant Keeper, I have a video, a detailed nursery tour, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. It is a 2-part series. Same thing with my Green Acres nursery and supply videos. I have a 2-part series where you can check those out. You can look at the plant playlist. But as you can see right here, I went ahead and got myself an Aglaonema Green Army. What do you guys think, plant foldies? What do you think about this particular Aglaonema? And do you ever just utilize plant shopping as a way to cope with disappointment, a bad day, or just feeling like you need to treat yourself? I felt like I definitely needed to treat myself, but more so I needed to find something to make me happy. And yes, maybe spending money on plants may not necessarily be the long-term solution, but at the time, I felt like I needed to go get something that was plant related. So just why not add another plant? And then I also ended up getting a second plant that I was looking at when I was at Plant Keeper Incorporated, and that is the Aglaonema Painted Silver Prince. And it has a similar look to an Aglaonema Silver Bay, but you'll notice that it's got more variegation in color. It's almost like a tricolor here. It's definitely a different Aglaonema. And what I plan on doing is, for my entryway in my house, is I am going to collect larger Aglaonemas that are already grown to that size as an entryway. When I actually do my house plant tour, you guys will see that. And I know some plant foldies got a little snippet of a house plant tour because I did live stream certain parts of my home to show y'all that. So, make sure you actually have all notifications turned on, because I might end up doing it. But here is just, a detailed look at both of these Aglaonemas set side by side. So that is what I did at the very end, is to go to Plant Keeper after going big box store plant shopping and actually find me some beautiful Aglaonema. It really did make me feel better. Call me silly, call me crazy, call me whatever, but that was the instant boost of confidence and just a treat for myself to just get over the disappointment of not being able to fly out to New York City this past weekend. Thank you again to all the plant foldies that did show concern. Big shout out to my friend Big Leaf Jim on Instagram for grabbing my plants that I bought from Art Garden Flowers. As always, plant folies, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier. It definitely supports the channel, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at Growfold. My name is Richie. Definitely click on the videos that are popping up on the screen and know that I have several new videos scheduled for live premieres at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time this week. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.